shine the town they do. This Christmas, firesides blazing bright, and we're caroling through the night. And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me.
What's going on, everybody? Man, Eric Wilson in for the Sports Arena. Happy holidays to all of us here at the Sports Arena. Man, Eric Wilson alongside my brother Mike Caratuno's in the house tonight, man. Good evening, Mike. What's up, baby? How are you?
Oh man, I'm good. Saw you were all back to yourself this morning, all happy today, so that's fine. I mean, it's a holiday season. You should be happy. A
You know,
little
I
bit.
am happy, Mike, but like I said before, like I said earlier today, I'm not, you were not one of the people that I was speaking to when I said what I said earlier today. Because see, me and you, this is what we do. It's been 18 years. We go back and forth. Do I sometimes put a little extra on it when it comes to Eagles beating Dallas? Yes. And rightfully so, as a sports reporter without pay said last week, Ray Lynn, who's going to be joining us shortly. Sometimes you just got to give it back to me, and I'll sit there and take it. But see, it wasn't you that I was talking about, Mike.
I know.
It's all them other Cowboy fans that I'm like, okay, y'all want to sit here and dump on me, and I'll take it. I
But
got broad shoulders, baby. I'll deal with it.
right, but before we get started, what did I say last week? For those that weren't paying attention, Raylan, I gave it as we went on. I always can go to, and I waited till later to get my Micah Parsons, Cowboys Penn State jersey in there for you. But I said last week, if they lose to Buffalo, everyone will say, "Oh, Dallas." I mean, the crazy thing is, you hate to do it on a loss, and you and I have talked to this throughout the years. They clinched a playoff spot before the game even started, thanks to the wonderful talented Falcons. They clinched a playoff spot. Look, and I said it last week. Everyone will overreact last week. Everyone will go to the other end this week. That's again wants to sit there and say, "Oh," and look. We've been covering it for a while. We've been lucky enough to be around coaches, players, coordinators, listening to them talk, getting ready. Like the one thing I loved about your former Philadelphia Eagle, Herman Edwards, Eric, and I said this, like, what did he always say? It's hard to win a game. And yes, I get when you're in the quote unquote entertainment industry of sportscasting, because let's be honest, yes, you need to be knowledgeable? Yes. Is it more than box scores and X's and O's when it started out, 100 years ago? You and I know, yes, it is. But if it's hard to win, like Buffalo's supposed to win that game. And the fact where they did it, what did I say they did the last few weeks in that 5-game winning streak? We know Washington maybe not be a great team, but what is one thing Eric Bieniemy did? Yes, you talk about passing and stuff. They run the ball. The Giants, they want to run the ball with Saquon. They did get physical with the Cowboys. The first game with the Eagles, it was close. But what was that little bit advantage in Philly? You get physical. They're undersized up front. Now, if you're going to sit there and pass on that undersize, guess what? They're getting home. We saw you. And look, you are the perfect example. Like you said, you do not like that team. You despise that team. But from watching it, undersized or not, if you don't hit your blocks right, or if the right stunt or the right slant, whatever you want to say, Dan Quinn, they're calling defensively is there. You're not. They get by you, they're done. You're done. Like, that's what they've lived on. They had a 5-game winning streak. So, like I said, to compete with the Eagles again, to compete with the Niners. And people said, "Oh, the Buffalo Bills, you have a blueprint." Eric, we've been saying this since last year. CeeDee Lamb started to come into his own, and we saw that. And look, I think Amari Cooper being there, it didn't stun his growth. I think it helped CeeDee Lamb a lot. That being said, not having that solid number 2, it was a little bit of a bumpy road for CeeDee Lamb. I think it's a fair.
Okay, but Mike, I've been saying that since jump.
Right.
Because you were like, hey, you got Michael Gallup, you got Brandon Cooks. I'm like, where are they? Because as far as I see.
I meant without Amari Cooper. That's what I'm saying to you. I agree. Like, CeeDee Lamb as a number 2, people are like, damn, he's a number 1. Like, look what he can do. Yeah, absolutely. When you have Amari Cooper next to him, it is different. But they also had quote like not a healthy Michael Gallup. To your point as well, Michael Gallup healthy, taking the top off the defense, and CeeDee Lamb can do the same too. So it's huge. Look, it was an ass whooping. You know me. I'm not skirting around it. I mean, Buffalo. What did Buffalo do? They ran the ball like Philly did the first time. Dallas adjusted against Philly. Yes, the offense held on to the ball a little bit longer, but you know, and then people are going to say, oh, you know, Josh Allen, well, threw for 94. You only had to throw for 94 yards. They went to a game plan, and yeah, there were times it worked, and there's multiple plays where you see, when I'm watching the game, you see grown men, undersized or not, Eric, and it's crazy. Like I always say to you, it's crazy to call, you know, a small center in the NBA like 6'9" small. It's like 6'9", excuse me? Like, you know, a small lineup. You know what I'm saying? Because we've laughed about that throughout the years. Even if I was 6'9", to be like, you're calling me a small. Okay, that's cool. But that being said, like, I can't. When I look at your team and I look at what they've done, and I said this about Philly in the beginning of the season, I don't care if you're not in this day and age not throwing the ball 50 times a game. Nobody was stopping Philly running the ball. Even before the brotherly shove became the, you know, third and short, fourth and short play, it doesn't matter. Like, you're running the ball. Your quarterback doesn't have to throw 50 times. If you can't stop me, because it goes, and I'll end it on this, Eric, I'll bring it full circle. Every year, and I say this a million times outside of
you do
officiating, you and me know officiating, keep it consistent.
That's it.
What do coaches and players say? Damn, if we can't run the ball and we can't stop the run, you know, especially if we have to go to some of these cold weather places, if we can't run the ball and we can't stop the run, we're not going to win in the playoffs. They don't say if we can't throw it 50 times and complete it 37. They say, no, if we cannot run the ball and stop the run, we don't win. The Cowboys can run the ball. Now, Zach Martin did get dinged up. Knock on wood, Tyron Smith is, you know, the rest of the guys healthy. He got banged up, so we'll see if he's playing this week against Miami. But that's the thing. If you and you know it, being in Philly, me being in Jersey, if you can't run the ball and you can't stop the run, you're not winning.
That's facts. That's just the way it is. But like I said, again, it wasn't you. And good evening to the Sports Reporter Without Pay, the co-host, Mr. Ray Lynn. Thank you, sir, for joining us. It wasn't you that I was talking about. It was all them other people who I sat here and I took it for 2 weeks. I took it from 49ers fans, and the big guard is still MIA. I done touched base with him. But last week, I sat here and yes, I was in my feelings and I let all them Cowboy fans just come out of the woodwork. I let them talk. I let Ray, who's not even a Cowboy fan, take up for you getting on me. And I had to sit here and be like
the fine wine of the broadcast. Ray is like fine wine. The baits he puts out there and everything. See, as the week went on after the show, I was like, man, Ray got me. But I was like, I'm just calling what I see. I would have liked to play some more music, but I'm like, all right. But Ray takes her out the week, man. I got so many messages from my cousin. They're like, my cousins, Ray. They're like, are you sure he's a Lions fan? He's not hiding behind the Cowboys. I'm like, oh no, he just wanted me to give it to Eric because, and all my cousins that I've watched, they love. Well, they're mostly all of them are Giants fans, but there are a few that are Cowboys fans. They really love that, you know, Nobody Likes Us song because it's self-imposed. Because, well, I mean, Philly fans inside a stadium, Ray, as we know, they had to have a judge.
Anyhow,
hey man, listen. For me, like that's what we do, right? Like we talk a ton of trash here on this show, right? So all the build up to, you know, our teams playing each other, right?
2 weeks,
especially Philly and that, like with you and Megan on the show and Eric on the show. For y'all to go out and stump them the way y'all did, and you came on here singing Kumbaya.
That was last week,
You came on here singing Kumbaya.
That was last week, man. Can we move on, please? Let's talk about what Dallas didn't do yesterday.
Hey,
let's talk
Eric,
about that,
Eric,
man.
I think this message is for you, Eric.
Okay. Oh, he showed up. I'm
glad
he's here.
Loso, what's up, Loso?
Let me tell you something, man. This guy don't dodge no smoke, nothing whatsoever.
Good. Well, let Loso know he got a standing invitation. He can join us on here anytime he wants to. And he can sit here and join Megan and Mike and talk about the Cowboys. I take the handicap match all day long. It don't matter. I ain't running. Good, bad, or indifferent. I will always be here. And when my team stinks up the joint, I will sit here and I will deal with it. But make no mistake about it. Any chance I get, with the exception of this coming Sunday, Christmas Eve, because Mike, I said it last week, and for those who may have missed it, I'm going to say it again. I am in your corner this Sunday, for the first time in years, yes, I am picking the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Miami Dolphins. We will see what happens Christmas Eve. But all right, let's transition really quick because I
Time
want to
out.
talk about.
Wait, that's time out. That's all. That's it. That's it. I'm Eric. I'm almost as disappointed in you as I was with Mike last week.
It wasn't my team though, Ray.
It
It
don't
wasn't my
matter.
team.
Listen, time out. Just like I told Mike last week, I said, Mike, you gonna get on this show and sing and kiss babies and play kumbaya with Eric after you done dogged your team every week. The Dallas Cowboys could be playing a JV high school football team. Eric say, I'm picking that high school team. They got a chance. That's how much you disrespect your Cowboys. And when y'all went out there and stumped a mud hole in his team, you was going to get on here and be nice. Eric, my friend, I would offer the same to you. You done picked against them all year. And they went out and got smacked. And now you like, man, it's okay. No, not listen. Y'all are disappointing me. Y'all are. There's not much he can say after his team. But look, Lozo's still talking crazy to you, Eric. He's still talking crazy to you. I'm just, hey, listen. Hey, man.
If it was Philly beating Dallas, I would have unleashed. You already know I would have unleashed, but it is Buffalo.
Eric, you're not making this better for yourself because not only did Philly not beat Dallas, they beat the hell out of y'all. You're supposed to live in the moment.
Okay,
talk about
fine.
Y'all won yesterday.
Fine.
Y'all
want me to live in the moment. Let me live in the moment. Let me do something that has not been done in a good month, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, please.
Swung on and hit in the air to deep left center.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a holiday edition of Eric's Rant. Yes, I am just a loudmouth with an opinion, so whether you like it or not, here it goes. So, the sports reporter without pay, my co-host, the man who keeps the energy flowing and always ends by saying, keep that same energy. Well, this one I'm going to definitely do for my brother, Mr. Ray Lynn. Okay, I have sat for 2 weeks, and I have sat and dealt with the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles got dog stomped, not only by the San Francisco 49ers in our own house, but then had to travel to Dallas on Sunday night and get beat down by my mortal enemy, the Dallas Cowboys. So you know what? What did I expect to happen yesterday? I expected Dallas to kind of show up, but they didn't. Clearly got stomped. I have said it since the beginning of the season. CeeDee Lamb is the only wide receiver that the Dallas Cowboys have because Brandon Cooks, you are barely even on the field, and when you are on the field, you're not targeted. Then there's Michael Gallup, who I forgot about you from 3 years ago. Listen, I used to call Amari Cooper the most overrated 5-year, $100 million walking piece of mediocrity that existed. Now the brothers in Cleveland with the aging Joe Flacco, and they're about to possibly make the postseason. What does that tell you about Dallas? Dallas does exactly what we expect Dallas to do. Every year at the start of the season, come August, September, oh, you know we're going to the Super Bowl this year, right? And see, October, what they do is they ride that roller coaster to the top. And November, they hit their peak. But now it's December, and I have said this for years. Dallas needs the number 1 seed more than any team in the NFL, and this year is proof positive. At home, they are undefeated. You are 7-0 at home, which means if teams come into Jerry World, Dallas puts on a show, but you stick them in cold weather or you put them against better teams, guess what? Dallas does not show up. The 3 teams that they beat on the road were subpar 500 teams. You play the top tier teams, those teams that are like tier 1, tier 2, and guess what, Dallas? You fold. You crap the bed. You know what I mean? So for all you Cowboy fans out there that feel like, oh, this might be our year. No, stop living in that delusional state. It's happened from 1995 until now. Y'all, only reason y'all relevant is because your owner got all that money, built this beautiful playpen that everybody wants to be a part of. You either love them or you hate them. But I damn sure don't respect the Cowboys. Let me be very clear. There are nine people in the entire universe that I can say, as Dallas Cowboy fans, I love, honor, and respect you. And 2 of them are on this show on Monday nights, 10 p.m. Shameless plug for the Sports Arena. Mike Carrot-Snudo and the Queen of Hoop, Megan Price. But all the rest of y'all, get to stepping. Y'all lost. Keep it moving. Good luck trying to get back what you gladly gave us, because you was number 2 for a minute. But now, like you did yesterday, you became the number 2 and got flushed down the toilet.
I just want to say for the people watching in the comments, because I like to talk to our people in the comments. Eric, you may not even understand what this means, but in the comments, they say you put up like 3-minute rounds. They ain't booked me for a long time. Get that preview, let that beef brew. So listen, man. That's one of those in the comments. If you know, right? Mike, this is exactly why I told you don't be nice. You see how he just did your team?
No, I do, and it's funny because it is funny. Exactly. There you go. That's what he's trying to do. And the funny thing is, look, defense always travels. And yeah, they got ran over yesterday. You heard me saying it when you came out, right? They got ran over. They can adjust. And he says that funny thing. And all I gotta say is in Philly, it was about 3 millimeters, and he breaks the plane, and Dak Prescott steps out. I mean, you kind of ran the ball in Philly. You kind of tried to run it in Dallas, and you struggled. So we'll see. And when Seattle comes back and wins, we go back to number 2.
Hey,
it's all right, baby.
Hey, Eric.
Yes, sir.
I'm Mr. Stir the Pot. I just know in your rant, you made a comment, something to the sort of the Dallas Cowboys, when they play a top-tier team, they don't show up.
Yes.
And I'm sure that's what this comment is in reference to. I mean, because
we ain't okay. You tell me we ain't a top-tier team. But
no, I think he's saying he's making fun of you saying they couldn't beat a top-tier team. So he said, so the Eagles aren't top tier? Noted.
Okay. Loso, like I said, the invitation stands, my brother.
Loso, you can come on my show too. And you know what? We can talk Cowboys, Loso. Hit me up. I'd love you to come on here and just, enjoy Eric's delusional take, but it's all right. And that's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. You got to play the game on the field, Ray. Just like, hey, you know what? It's not even change it. I know we're going to get to it. The beatdown you guys put on Denver.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely
yes,
beautiful.
Sir.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yes, sir. Then let me get John Shearer in here so we can talk about that. Yes, sir. What's up, John?
What's going on?
How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling pretty good. I already knew this would happen to Dallas. I had a feeling that Buffalo would stomp them dry. So I know we covered that. But
team. Here he is talking about other teams but makes excuses for his team that can't beat a good team. Awesome. Keep it up.
Then you kept your starters in so you could get a garbage time touchdown.
Hey, you know what? Absolutely. Working on stuff, getting a garbage time touchdown. But it's funny because I'm sorry. Wait. So since we are talking about Buffalo, what did they do to you in Buffalo?
No. Let's stop for a second.
You don't get to do that.
You lost. I can do that all I want.
You know what? Everybody getting smoked tonight. You know what? You know what this guy is the king of? You know what he's the king of? He's the king of disappearing. You remember last year when the Miami Heat lost? John, that's what John. I won't make it, fellas. I'm calling in from work. You know what's crazy? I only come in my man cave to do my sportscasting, right? I got so much going on, like the man cave in here, whatever. My internet windows stay open, right? I promise I can't make it do this. I'm going to share my screen with y'all, and I want y'all to see something, right? Because this is what John do. He hides. He runs from the smoke. So can somebody please explain? This is what my internet window is open to. I didn't do this. That's what it's open to. They lost this game, John.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch.
They lost that game, John, and you haven't been here since. Somebody look at that. Tell me what happened. 27 to 13.
You only did one show since, and I was
53. Look at you. You sound sick now. 2 minutes and 53 seconds left against Will Levis. He named after Jeeves. Will Levis and a bunch of bums. And y'all
you lost to the Chicago Bears, right? Shut your
We
mouth.
weren't-
Get out of
We
here.
weren't.
Shut your
We
mouth.
weren't. We were not
got
up 27-13.
stomped by the
We were not
Chicago
up-
Bears.
We were not up 27-13 with less than 3 minutes left,
Yeah,
John.
because you didn't have a chance against the Chicago Bears. Shut your
John,
mouth. Get
do you-
out of
do you-
here.
Do you know why
You're
this is still up
fraud
on my screen?
Lions.
Do you know why
Get
this is still
out.
up on my screen? Because we were doing the show and I looked to check the score and I shut my computer and went downstairs thinking the game was over. And I woke up the next day and said, what the hell happened? That's what happened, John.
NFL.
This is still up. Look at it. I can't refresh to 2 minutes and 53 seconds. It's not a screenshot. This is my computer. It's stuck on that spot right there because I closed my laptop thinking the game was over, John. And you know what your Miami Dolphins did? They showed us exactly who they are. They some bums. That's what happened, John. And you know what you did? Dismiss yourself. I won't be around. I won't be around. John don't never come around for the smoke. Everybody on this screen, team done had some kind of mishap this year. We lost to Green Bay. We lost to Chicago. His team got stumped by his team. His team got stumped yesterday. Y'all lost to Arizona too. That was pretty bad. But John, you the only one that don't show up for smoke when your team lose to the likes of the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I told
Come on
Eric-
here talking crazy like you
told
exempt
Eric
from
what?
smoke.
That I was sick.
And
Yeah, we know you were sick. You were sick, sitting somewhere drowning
Yeah,
in your sorrows. That's what happened. We know
I
you were
believe
sick.
I
We
texted.
know you were sick.
I believe I texted Eric at 3:00 that day. So just so you know.
Oh, I believe you.
But the
were
game
sick. It's
happened,
kinda
right?
like
The game already
kinda like-
happened.
It's kind of like
You
what Buffalo did to you too. They shut you down, and Tyreek was on the field, and
I mean,
they
you
were
can
your
look at
daddy in
Eric's
sunny
receipts.
weather.
Go
They
look at
were
his
your daddy,
stats.
and I'll compare it because it makes sense. It's a parallel. They both played Buffalo. They both got stomped. You lost to Buffalo. You lost to Kansas City. You lost to Philly. I mean, it's okay. It's okay, and you're going to lose to Dallas this week too because, to Ray's point, you get stomped like that, your next week looks a whole lot different. And
You're
I'll
lucky
enjoy
next week
it.
is Christmas,
enjoy it.
Mike. You're
We'll
lucky
enjoy it.
because you get to avoid next Monday.
I'll-
You get to
I'll come
avoid
on.
next
Jump
Monday.
Come on, I ain't-
Hey, real quick. Hey, Eric, let
Yes,
me
sir.
shift gears for a second. I don't even know what the next topic was, but I'm going to see if John can attempt to be a sports analyst. Because last week you had to come on here and you had to take smoke for your team getting their ass beat. Because that's what happened to them. You had to come and sit on this show while people in the comments just talked about you like a dog. You had tears in your eyes. You were sitting here while people had stuff like this up, and you took it. You ate your humble pie and you took it. Mike, your team got their ass beat yesterday. I was here when Green Bay lost. I was here when we lost. I mean, we lost to Green Bay, lost Chicago. This is a serious question, John, because I asked Eric after the Dallas game. I said, so now what? What does Philly do from here, right? I have a serious question. When you look at you guys' schedule for the year and your wins are against the Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Giants, Panthers, Patriots, Raiders, Jets, Commanders, and Jets. None of those teams will be in the playoffs. And your losses are against the Titans, go figure. The Chiefs, the Eagles, and the Bills. And not particularly close game. You lost to the Eagles 31-17. You lost to the Bills 48-20, and you lost to the Chiefs by a touchdown. Y'all haven't beat a damn good team this year. Not one,
Okay.
John.
All right.
Not
So,
one, John. Don't
so
start that
believe-
BS time. Be for real.
so I believe the 2020, I think it was the 2020 Bucks that won the Super Bowl did not
It's 2023.
did not beat a winning team with the record. They won the Super Bowl. I believe the 2019 Chiefs that won a Super Bowl didn't beat a team with a winning record. So it happens.
Yeah, they
teams
did.
teams
So,
teams win without beating teams with winning records, and they still win Super Bowls. It happens.
Let's not
It
do
doesn't matter.
let's
You
not
play
do
who's
the
on your
man.
schedule.
Let's not do the man. Sometimes the dude that's a 3 can smash a 10. Yeah, but it don't happen all the time, bro. That dude that's a 3 gonna lead a club by himself 9 times out of 10.
I just gave you
So
two
one night he get like-
examples
Yeah,
in the
two-
last
two
4
exa-
years.
2 examples out of how many
In the
years
last
in
4
NFL existence,
years.
right? So let's be real
It happened
sports
twice in
analysts for a
4
second.
years.
Let's be real sports analysts. You included and myself through 8 or 9 weeks of the season kept telling Eric, man, your Eagles don't look right. Right? And Eric kept saying, hey man, we win in games. Right? And then they went in and Dallas beat the dog hell out of them. Right? And it wasn't I told you so, but it was like, hey, bro, this is even now they don't look good right now, if you're being honest, right? So we said all year it hasn't happened. It's like, when is that going to bite them? At what point? You haven't beat a good team yet.
So,
You're not going to get to play the Jets in the playoffs. You're not going to get to
So?
play the Raiders in the playoffs. Yeah, okay.
I mean,
you know,
it doesn't matter
for a
to
second,
me.
I thought you could give a real unbiased sports opinion. It's like, I'm a Miami
Because-
fan, we'll be okay, but they ain't beat nobody.
It doesn't
They beat
matter.
nobody.
If you watch the Dolphins, they're good enough to beat anybody. The defense is a top 5 defense. That alone gives you an opportunity to beat anybody you play in the playoffs.
Oh, you know whose defense is rated
Yeah,
higher than these things?
hold
The
on.
Ravens.
Hey, hold on. Let me talk to this guy, because when you say they're a top 5 defense again, right? If this was the college football playoff, y'all would be left the hell out because y'all strength of schedule is trash, right? Your strength of record is trash. You're a top 5 defense, but who are you holding to these points? The bums. What happened when you play good teams? Well, Philly put up 31, Bills put up 48, and the Chiefs put up 21. The games you giving up 13 points is against the Raiders. You held the Jets to 13. You held the Commanders to 15. Guess what, John? Everybody's holding those teams to 13 and 15. It's not special to hold the Jets to 13. They don't have a quarterback.
You play who's in front of you. You
Right?
can't
So,
do
yeah, but
anything
don't,
about
but
it.
listen, but we're being real. We're looking at the schedule and going, yo, they're a top 5 defense. They ain't played nobody to be a top 5
You can't
defense.
do that. You can't do
Bills
that.
gave
You
them
can't
4.
just-
Yeah, we can do that, because that's what you would do for everybody else. You would look at the schedule and go, oh, they haven't beat anybody. Oh, don't give me that. You told me Cleveland defense was trash and they got the number 2 defense in the NFL. What was you basing that off of? So what are you basing y'all being a top 5 defense against?
Huh?
Yeah, okay, top 5 defense. Okay,
So,
top
so
5.
I want to piggyback off what Ray is saying.
You don't
and John,
watch
I want
the Dolphins.
John, I want to ask you a serious question, because we're talking about the teams that you've beaten versus the last 3 teams that you must face. All 3 of these teams are going to be in the postseason, respectfully. The Cowboys, the Ravens, and the Bills are
We
all
don't know
going
about
to
the
be.
Bills,
So
but
I'll
okay.
bet you $100 right now you don't hold none of those teams under 20.
yeah, we'll see.
We ain't gonna see. I'm willing to bet it. Top 5 defense. You held the
guess
Raiders
we'll
to
see.
13.
Yeah.
You held New England to 13. You held the Jets to, like, you held the Raiders, the Jets, the Patriots. You would bet if it was them. Y'all top 5 defense, right?
Exactly.
Bums.
Okay. Ravens are a top 3 defense.
Okay,
Can't
but
wait to see that.
my point is, and what I wanted to ask this question to you, John, is simply this. You right now, sir, are facing 3 teams that are above 500 teams. Well, Buffalo, I think Buffalo is over
Yeah,
500.
they're 8 and 6.
8 and 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So the 3 teams that you are facing all are above 500. And what Miami has shown this year is when you play teams that are above 500, Miami does not fare well. Being unbiased about it. Now, listen, yes, you got Miami, you're home to the Cowboys and to the Bills, and then you have to go to Baltimore on New Year's Eve, but it's a 1:00 game, so as long as the weather holds up, you should be okay. I don't care what nobody say. Weather does, in some cases, play a factor. But, John, how confident are you that coming out of this, being right now 10 and 4 that you are going to finish, let's say 12 and 5,
I'm
or
confident
even 13 and 4, which would mean you're contending if Baltimore should lose that game, you and them would be the tie, and you might have the tiebreaker. I don't know how it works, but what I'm saying to you is, how confident are you with those 3 games, knowing what you know about those teams, knowing what you've seen about those teams, and your team having to face them?
I'm confident we win all 3.
Now, is that but is that the fan talking, John? I mean, let's keep it a buck now, man. Let's be real.
Miami already proved that they can go into Baltimore and win last year. I think that it's easy to expose Dak and the Cowboys. Once you put him under pressure, it's very easy to expose him, especially on the road. He doesn't have his home crowd. And then Buffalo's got to come to Miami. That's a tough place for them to play. They always complain about the sun, and we seem to always beat them there. So
what you're saying is, based on what you're saying, is what you're telling all of us and all the people watching tonight, is that Miami will finish 13 and 4 and possibly have the number 1 seed. That's what you're saying.
If they win all 3, they are the number 1 seed, no matter what.
Okay, but that's what you're saying. I just want to get this on record. You are saying Miami's going to beat the Cowboys, they're going to beat the Ravens in Baltimore, and they're going to beat Buffalo, finish 13 and 4, and be the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I'm confident in that.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, Pinocchio's right. Let me say this real quick.
Go ahead,
Uh,
Mike.
You talk about your top 5 defense, and Eric, Ray, John, I've said this to you guys a million times. The best part about being on the left coast, the only best part is after the games end at night, when I can go back and watch other games and teams, your defense is good. You're in that neck of the woods. Don't even tell me you think you're better than Baltimore's defense.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not. See, that's why you're outside your mind. Put the Pinocchio picture back up.
Hey,
They
no,
don't
no,
have-
no, 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 no.
They
Let
don't
me
have
just say
anything
this.
close
Let
to
me just
that
say
on
this.
the
In
outside.
the words,
It's not, because it's not even close.
in the
It's not even
words of
close.
our brother Alex Fleming, John Shear, you need to be drug tested. You need to be drug tested.
I'm not saying Miami's not good, John. See, you're not
Mike,
hearing Jimmy. You're just
They
listening.
don't have
to
the
me.
corners.
I'm not saying their
we
defense.
have.
You don't have the defense. Okay, well, you don't have the better linebackers, and
They
that's
don't
not
have the
close.
pass rush we have.
Okay,
They
you don't have the better
corners.
linebackers.
They
It's
don't
not
have the
close.
safeties.
It doesn't
If-
matter. So why is their defense ranked above you with the weak ass schedule in your eyes that Ray just read to you that you would call a weak ass schedule for everybody else? How is it that you're not ranked above them in any defensive categories?
Well, since we got healthy, because we
Oh,
weren't
I
healthy
know.
for
More
half the
excuses.
season.
Oh, so their
Once we got
their depth is
healthy-
better. So Baltimore's depth on defense
No,
is
we
better.
just had
Okay,
key guys
awesome.
hurt.
Their
had key
second
guys
string's
hurt.
better. That's awesome because Baltimore's had guys hurt too. And Lamar Jackson, hey, fine. What did I just say about running the ball, Eric? Everybody says, oh, pass, great. Lamar doesn't have to pass the ball. But guess what? When Lamar still gets in the open field, it's a first down every time. It's funny how that works. But cool. Everybody keeps saying this team, that team. Everybody's waiting for the Chiefs to catch the ball. Eric, I said it. I said the Ravens were the best team in the league when you asked that question after week 7. I said I really believe they are. Yeah, they've had their fourth quarter struggles, but let's like Ray always says, when you talk about 6 finals for somebody or 9 finals, you have to get there. Last second shots, you have to be taking that last second shot, right? The Ravens, to me, look, the Ravens and the Niners, and they're going to settle it.
They're going to settle it next week.
Next weekend,
Christmas.
yeah.
They're going to settle
The
it
Ravens and the
after
Niners, to me-
the Eagles beat the Giants. We're going to see Baltimore, San
Oh, yeah.
Francisco. That's how we end Christmas night.
Right.
So
Right. It's so yeah. I mean, so everybody, all this Lamar, this and that, and now it's completion percentage. Okay, well, he's not throwing a lot. Of course, it should be 70%. Like you say, it's always pushing the goalpost back for Lamar. Patrick
I
Mahomes
seriously
has
believe
dropped.
that.
Patrick Mahomes has dropped. These guys can't catch a cold, and it's in front of our eyes. And it's sad because if it's not Kelsey, I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the catch he made yesterday is sick. Patrick Mahomes has drops. Back in the day, my disdain for Tom Brady built up because it was always an excuse for him. But if another quarterback went through the exact same thing, Alex Smith, he dinked and dunked. Oh, Alex Smith, terrible. He can't get the ball down the field. Tom Brady did the same damn thing. And if you look at the plays, like I said, John, whole point, full circle, being on the left coast, I sit there and watch. I think your team's good as much as I hate to admit to. Yeah, they're not better than the Ravens. And they sure as hell couldn't beat the Chiefs, who can't catch a damn ball. Couldn't beat the Chiefs. Couldn't beat Jalen Hurts in the same. Couldn't really stump that Philly run. Again, in the playoffs, sure, it is one play, it is one series. It could be one drive that makes a difference. But I'll take the Ravens defense before them to make a play, and I'll take Buffalo's defense to sit there and stifle you. Yeah, it'd be tough to play in Miami.
Sorry.
So Eric,
My bad.
That's my last thing on this, man, because I mean, we like John. First off, man, we about to go into 2024. You need to lead this BS in 2023. Like you need to lead this foolishness in 2023.
Says
Like,
you.
bro, I'm sitting here. I'm just saying, bro. Like you're not even being for real. Like you on here raving about them having the top 5 defense. They got 2 wins
healthy,
against.
man.
They got 2 wins against the New England Patriots. Guess what? Worst scoring offense in the league. They got to win against the Jets. Second worst offense in the
Didn't
league.
the Eagles
2
lose to the
no,
Jets?
we
Oh,
talking
that's
about
what I
that.
Why you
thought.
gotta
That's
bring
what
me
I
into
thought.
this?
I mean,
we
I'm
talking
just
Why you
saying.
bring me into this?
Just saying.
Hey, listen,
Why not?
we're
Let's
not
not
talking. We're
forget
not talking
that.
about the Eagles, bro. This
No,
is not
I'm
a
just
tip for
saying.
tat. This is just what it is. I'm talking about you. Talking about you guys having a top 5
call
defense,
spade a
and I'm
spade.
telling you, 4 of your wins came against 2 bottom 3 offenses, and then another one came against the Giants, who have the second worst scoring offense. Right, the bottom 3 offenses in.
Bye, man. Bye.
Wow,
Finally,
all right, we
somebody
have a
shut
technical
him up.
issue. So you know what? We're
Somebody
gonna take a
shut him
break
up.
real quick. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna let Ray finish his point, but then we're gonna move on. Stay close. We'll be back in just a moment. You chilling with the Sports Arena.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
All right, welcome back, y'all, to the Sportsman. Your man Eric Wilson, alongside my co-host, the sports reporter without pay, Ray Lynn, Mr. Sideline Sports himself, John Shear, and my brother, 18 years, going strong, and I still love him, even though he is a Cowboys fan. Forks up. He's a Sun Devil Jerry, Mike Harris-Nuno in the building. So, Ray, please finish your point before we move on, sir.
My point is, and I think y'all heard, I think I froze or something like that. I had to close out and come back in. I'm just simply saying, man, you look up and down that Miami Dolphins schedule, man. All of those teams are bottom tier offenses. So you go, yeah, we got a top 5 defense. Well, those teams stuck against everybody. You held New England to 17 in 2 games. They're averaging 13 on the year. You held the Giants to 16. They're averaging 13 on the year. You held the Jets to 13-0. They're averaging 13 on the year. So, like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you can only play who's in front of you. But that top 5 defense really isn't indicative of how good of a defensive team they are. And we've seen it against the good teams. We've seen it when Buffalo scored 48. We saw when the Eagles scored 31, right? You just let Tennessee score 28. Like, I'm just simply saying, bro, like if you're a real sports analyst and you keeping it real and you're looking, they played a lot of bottom feeder offenses to make those numbers a little jaded as far as how good defense they are. It's cool. You take it what it is. You say we're top 5. But when you look at who they played, they like, nobody's going out on the field going, we can't score on Miami. You think Buffalo's scared of Miami? You think Kansas City's scared? Nobody's scared of them.
They should.
And I'll just add, they shouldn't be, because good teams score against them. I'll answer this question. And again, Dom made a comment earlier in the thing, and he said, well, we haven't beat a good team either since week 1. You don't see me on here talking like the Lions are some world beaters. I think we're having a good year. We're a solid team, right? I think Philadelphia and San Francisco are clearly in a different tier than us. I even think Dallas is better than us. I would rather play them than Philadelphia or San Francisco, and that's no disrespect to Dallas. Just Philadelphia and San Francisco are that good, right? Although Dallas beat the hell out of Philly. Anyway, the question being asked, who's going to have a better record between Miami and Detroit? And I'm saying Detroit, and it's not because we're a better team or because we're good. Like, we're both 10-4. We get Minnesota twice in our last 3 games. Those should both be wins, right? We just talked about who the Dolphins are playing in their last 3 games. And if they can go 2-1 in that would be not a miracle, but that's a win, right? That's a win if they can go 2-1. And I think
I would like to take a moment really quick. I just want to do this because I need people to understand that this was not anything. And I did this. We did this, shall we say. But I just want everybody to see this. This is what we did when we do our preseason predictions. And I'm sorry, Big Guard, but I didn't get your numbers till late. I just want everybody to see this. For all the talk, because they went 9-8 last year, we said they fitting to go this. And they sitting at 10-4. So somewhere along the way, I'm hoping I'm the right one, because then I just get to say I was right, because, it very rarely ever happens. But I just want people to see this, okay? Because this is important.
Yours looks the most realistic right now, Eric.
I just wanted to put that out there really quick.
Sitting in 10-4, we're supposed to beat Minnesota both times. We're just supposed to.
Yeah.
Right? And that Dallas game is gonna be tough. They're a good team. And they're gonna be pissed off after just getting piss beat down their legs last night. But then again, maybe the same Dallas team that played Arizona shows up, and I can come on here and talk crazy. Hey, Mike, just remember this, man. If y'all beat my Lions, you better show me the same grace you showed Eric. Don't come on here talking to me crazy.
When have I not? Every time you say I'm being
Ray, I'm gonna say this to you. When
I
you
was on the
beat Dallas,
Lions before last season started, Penei Sewell, and to John's point, he can't really rip the Lions because we have it on tape a million times. That is probably the best O-line. That's
still debatable to me. But Ray, I'm gonna say this to you: when the Lions beat the Cowboys, you better come on here. You better come on here and do what you said me and Mike should have done to each other. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. Can we now move on? Because I'm tired of talking about Dallas. Let's talk about Mike.
Yeah.
San Francisco 49ers, man. Arizona, the first half of that game, they looked like they might be able to do something. But I'm always the first one to be like, division games, you throw the rule book, the playbook, and everything out the window. But man, let me tell you, Arizona, they scared me last week. And really quick before I forget, I do apologize to everybody who is affiliated or a part of the sports arena. For the last 3 weeks, I have not put up the weekly pick'ems winner or our records. I've just had a couple things going on that I needed to handle. But I promise you, by the end of this week, I'm asking y'all, like Mike has done to me, please give me a little bit of grace. I will put weeks 13, 14, and 15 records up. Winners, if there was a tie, I'm just going to say, well, this one won it, because Ray does give me points every week. So if he was closer, then he going to get it. If not, somebody else will get it. I will have the standings before we go into week 16, because I do feel like there has been a little bit of shakeup. But I can honestly tell you, in my opinion, the two guys, one here and this one over here, it's probably going to come down to them two going into week 18, both John and Ray. We'll see who is the 2023-2024 weekly pick'ems winner. We'll see. But Arizona and San Fran, man, that game was something. But my question, Mike, to you was simply this: when you watched that game as the only person who picked the Cardinals, what were you really envisioning happening? Was it more of what we saw in the first half, or was it just, baptism by fire, and the second half San Francisco was like, oh no, we're going to show you why we the top dog in the league?
Yeah, I mean, it became that. I mean, they had too much, but to me, we go back to the defensive side of the ball. They got one guy back, but there were three that didn't play. And no, none were in the secondary. Yes, they did have a defensive touchdown. But I'm like, man, that many injuries on defense. The Cardinals, I mean, since Kyler Murray got back, no, they're not the defense has been ahead of the offense all year. And even since Kyler Murray's been back, they've had their lapses. There's been, the Browns game, they were just on the field too much. But to go into Pittsburgh, I mean, and beat Pittsburgh, have a bye to get ready for the 49ers at home, I thought if they keep it close in the first half, which, like you just alluded to, Eric, they did, that they'd have a chance. And then when I saw the final injury report, I was like, oh. I was like, I go, they're still going to score. Offensive guys are there. And, yeah, Christian McCaffrey went crazy. I mean, Eric, that was one of those things you put the funny clown music to. He caught a ball, had time to fall down, doing up, down, and going and running the damn end zone. So, I mean, McCaffrey, like we said, everybody, he's McCaffrey. But, I mean, look, the fact they were able to score 29 points against the Cardinals or the Niners, is again, they didn't win the game. Yes, you gave up 45, but the injuries on defense, I mean, look, they hung around in the first half. I mean, it's 21-13. If a Cardinals fan, you're like, all right, what can we do? I mean, look, Murray was 26 of 39. He threw 2 picks, though. And that was the issue. Connor got a good amount of rushing attempts. I think you need a little bit more. I think he had like 14 or 15, could have got a little bit more. But I mean, McCaffrey, look, if something's working, Eric, again, 18 carries for 115 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 catches for 72 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, look, Brandon Ayuk didn't have a big day. Deebo Samuel had an okay day, George Kittle, but it was like, okay, if you're not going to cover McCaffrey like they didn't do on that pass, I mean, the Cardinals, yeah, Eric, to your point, they were overmanned. And in the end, like the offense, it was just like, okay, like you kept it close. We let you hang around. Our depth on defense is still really good, unlike Miami's. And
yeah, okay.
the Niners won the game. So, like I said, 2 best teams in football at this point weighing in Baltimore and San Francisco.
Ray, I got to ask you this question because I know you are still Matthew Stafford is your quarterback, okay? And granted, it was against the Commanders, but I have to say, watching part of that game yesterday, I was genuinely worried about Matthew Stafford possibly losing to the Commanders. Now, that did not happen, John. I'm sorry that we're boring you here tonight. But Ray, I got to ask you, they are still in the hunt. The LA Rams are. How much credibility are you going to give them if they get into the postseason?
If the Rams get in,
yes,
right,
sir.
As the top 4 seeds, right, are probably going to be, or 3 of the top 4 seeds are going to be the 49ers, us, and whoever wins the NFC East, right. Are going to be the top 3 seeds. I don't think none of them want to play the Rams.
Especially San Francisco.
If I'm one of the top tier teams, right? And it's football. You're not scared of nobody. But if I'm looking down at the bottom, I want to play the Falcons or Tampa Bay or whoever wins that division, right? Let me see. So we're saying you got 4 divisions. So you got us, San Francisco, whoever wins the NFC East, and then let's just say Tampa Bay. That's 4. And then 5 is whoever's second in the
It'll be
NFC East. So
Dallas,
you got
yeah.
Dallas and Philly, right? Whoever wins, and then whoever doesn't win.
Right.
And you got 2 more teams. I would rather play anybody else than the Rams, right? Like if it's the Vikings, if it's Tampa Bay or Atlanta, if it's Seattle, get turned around, like whatever. You don't want to play the Rams. Like when you really think about the Rams haven't been healthy all year, right? Stafford, my man Loso will get a kick out of this. This is the one thing we can probably agree on because he is a Lions guy and he's a Georgia guy, right?
Oh wow,
Stafford man,
is his guy.
No, I'm saying he, as in Matt Stafford, is a Lions guy and he's a Georgia guy. Loso's a Georgia fan, right? If y'all can't see his hat, y'all see the Atlanta stuff, right?
Nobody.
Listen, man, Stafford, and I looked at an old take that I did when I was going off about Matt Stafford for that game he had to get them to the Super Bowl. Stafford still is one of the best arm talents to ever play this game. Probably doesn't have as great an IQ as an Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady. Probably can't make the checks at the line like a Peyton Manning. May not have the intangibles of a Pat Mahomes, right? But just on pure arm talent, there is not a throw Matt Stafford can't make. Not a single one.
And
when
arm
you have
angles too.
that guy, right? When you have that guy, I don't know what this kid Kyrie Williams. I don't know where he came from, but he going crazy. And then you have Cooper Kupp and Puka Doncic. Dog, listen, man. Let me tell you something, bro. Like, listen, man. Listen, dog. Dog. Like that's the team that go. And then listen, you sometimes people are so great that their greatness gets just kind of, it's like you expect it, so you don't care. And I'll use a basketball reference, and people are tired of me talk, but like it's kind of like LeBron, where you go like, yo, that man been averaging 27 and 7 and 7 for 19 years in a row. Like that's crazy, right?
Thought it was
To the point where when he
6 and 6.
whatever. I'm roundabout,
okay.
like that's
Okay,
his,
I'm sorry.
like, for 19 straight years. You know what I mean, and there's some years he averaged 25 or 26. Point is, for 19, let's just call it 25, 5 and 5 for 19 years. I did a thing where it was like over the last 19 years, if you did his career low, it would be 25, 6 and 7 or something like that. Like he hasn't averaged under those numbers in any year. And then you just kind of go, that's what you expect. The Rams have who I believe to still be the most dangerous defensive player in football. Micah Parsons is phenomenal. Myles Garrett is phenomenal. TJ Watt is great. But that Aaron Donald, dog, nobody demands as much attention as he does. Nobody just ruins your game plan the way Aaron Donald does. We're like, okay, we have a plan, and then he punches you in the mouth. And you're like, well, we came out with the jab that we thought was the best jab in the business. And so you get those guys in the playoffs, man, and anything is that, like, again, when you say not as of lately, right? It's because you don't see the numbers. Go watch the Rams play and watch how much attention offensive lines pay to Aaron Donald.
Still, no, 100%. You're 1,000,000% right, because when the Cardinals lost that first game to them in LA, I mean, the Cardinals were hanging around, and then all of a sudden, right? I mean, again, and I've said the offense, and I understand that, but the offense was making plays in the first half. All of a sudden in the second half, nothing. And I mean, Aaron Donald was wrecking it as he does again. So I'm with you on that. I think the thing with you is I'm with you, but I think to expand on what you're saying, the Rams got to outscore them too, because defensively the Rams can be. I mean, look, I know we're talking about Aaron Donald. I'm just saying the back end is where if you get that time, you get the ball out quick, you're getting it away from him. They can be scored on, and I think that's the.
I don't even disagree. I'm simply saying, right, when I say you don't want to play the Rams.
Oh no, 100%.
Just when the game is in the balance and your quarterback drop back, that will be the time where Aaron Donald reminds the world who I am. Go look at those advanced pass rush numbers, man.
Oh, yeah.
His numbers are stupid. Like he gets doubled more than anybody, and he still wins at the line more than anybody. Like he's supposed to be getting old. He's gonna retire. They didn't think he still had it. And I don't even disagree with this, bro. Right now, Myles Garrett is playing like his position better than anybody in the game. And that puts, like, depending on what you want to call them, defensive ends, linebackers, edge rushers, right? You got Myles Garrett, you got TJ Watt, you got the Bosa brothers, you got
Right.
Max Crosby,
Max
right?
Crosby.
Micah Parsons. Like, it is some great edge rushers in this game.
Yeah,
And
but
right
Donald
now,
plays inside though. Donald's
no,
inside.
I was just responding to this comment, right?
Oh, okay, I got
No,
you.
not,
Right.
not this one. This one, right?
Right.
I don't disagree with the idea that if you're talking right now, Myles Garrett is playing defense better than anybody in the NFL. But I'm telling you, it's kind of like, again, using basketball. Yeah. James Harden might be MVP this year. Russell Westbrook might be MVP this year. KD might. But when the time comes, you still know Bron gonna be Bron or whoever. In 1993, Charles Barkley won MVP, but we knew who the guy was. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of them things where it's like, yeah, them guys are playing better right now. But when it comes down to it, and you got to put them chips on the table, bro, that's a bad man, dog. Like, and I again, I'm not even saying like they no favorites. I'm saying if I'm a team at the top of the NFC,
Man, we got 8 minutes and some change left. Y'all bye. You know, I'm tired of people always, Eagles about to lose. Man, bye. Anyhow, I'm sorry, Ray. I didn't mean to cut you off. I can't stand it.
Hey, man, listen, I've watched games that the Cleveland Browns should not have been in this year. Oh, nice. Hey, man, they keep asking my opinion. I'm going to keep giving it. Listen, man, I know that was John. I watched games that Cleveland shouldn't have been in this year, and they were in it because of Myles Garrett.
100%.
Hey, John, I speaking since you wanted him to wrap things up, we only got a few minutes anyhow, but Ray got something he want to do. But before we get to that, John Shear, it is the holiday season. I ain't seeing you in a minute, my brother, but I do owe you a small apology. Way back in the day, earlier this season, you made a comment, and I cut you to shred because I said you ain't gonna talk about my coach Mike Tomlin. I said there's one exception to the rule. Of all the head coaches, I said it's Mike Tomlin. John, I am here to officially say I might have been a little too presumptuous about the success of Mike Tomlin, but what I've seen this year with injuries that have happened and the team being where they are at, I do feel like his seat is a little warm going into the end of this year. I have to admit it. Based on what I've seen.
Playoff game since I think 2016 was the last time he won a playoff game. It's unacceptable as a head coach.
I'm just saying. I have to say to you, I
the
possibly
got to the playoffs lost. I can't say, Eric. I see what you're saying, and I'm sorry, but like that's one seat that definitely you should get more. That deserves a healthy team, and who knows? Maybe Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer gets him.
This is why Dom is my guy.
See, but
overrated coach in the history of the
NFL. That's
NFL.
why Dom's the Lions fan that makes Ray look bad because they're both Lions fans, and Ray doesn't do that. Ray doesn't.
No, I will never say that Mike Tomlin is overrated. What I'm saying is for this season,
overrated coaches ever.
No, I'm not. No, see, I was trying to be nice to you, John, and you had to go and throw that in there. What I was saying to you was
Bill Cowher's team, and he
season.
hasn't done anything since.
Okay, all right, never mind.
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. First off, John, you full of shit. Let's start there.
Yeah,
and Eric, you shouldn't back down from that. If anything, this season should have solidified your thought process at the beginning of the season. Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph and Mitch Trubisky are your quarterbacks, and you sitting at 7-7?
That's not
Explain
good.
Explain to me. You said that's not good.
That's not good. That's 500.
With that team?
So that's the bar. That's the thing right there.
That team is supposed to be 3-11.
You're proving
that team
my
is
point.
Supposed to be 3-11.
The bar for Pittsburgh for years now with Mike Tomlin has been 500. Oh, man, we haven't had a losing season ever under Mike Tomlin. You know why? Because the bar is 500. The bar is 8-8 before they switch to 17 games. Then it's 9-8. That's the bar. It's not championship level anymore. Mike Tomlin's got him believing that 9-8 is the bar we want set in Pittsburgh. That's the bar we want. We're happy because he's never had a losing season. That's what they care about now. It's no longer hanging championship banners. It's hanging mediocre banners, hanging 500 banners.
Make sure we all on the same sheet of music.
That's the bar now in Pittsburgh.
I want to make sure we're on the same sheet of music. The Buffalo Bills.
Prove my point.
The Buffalo Bills, who are plus 125 on the season, by the way, with Josh Allen, their quarterback, a guy that people were saying 2 years ago was coming from Mahomes and Stephen Diggs and one of the best offenses in the game, and yada, 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 are 8-6. The Cincinnati Bengals, they're 8-6. The Jacksonville Jaguars with Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence, and they was coming, they're 8-6. The Denver Broncos, who picked up a coach in the offseason to pair with Russell Wilson, and everybody thought the Denver Broncos was going to be this, that, and the third, and they're 7-7. Mike Tomlin with Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett is 7-7. That team is overachieved. When you say the bar has to be realistic based on the talent that you have on the field. They don't have any talent in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
they haven't had
talent.
They haven't had a good receiver since Antonio Brown left. They had a good receiver since Antonio Brown left.
They have plenty of good receivers. He just doesn't know how to coach them.
Man, get out of here.
They have plenty of
Outta
talented
here.
receivers. You can't tell me they don't have talented
Dude.
receivers.
Dude,
Somebody
are you kidding me?
Somebody got to
He's
throw the
not a
ball.
So much
coach.
better in drafting than receivers
he's
in so
lost
many
the
teams.
room.
Santonio Holmes did his thing, but in Pittsburgh, he was there. There was a guy called Hines Ward. All these guys that came up through, and you says, Brown was a hell of a receiver, and he lost his mind. You're going to say that, but you're going to look at Mike Tomlin's seasons, and the last few.
John, they're 7-7. Based on your football expertise and that minuscule mind of yours, what should their record be?
I mean, if he's so good, they should be a lot better, right?
I'm asking you a question.
He's one of the
Players
greatest.
got to make
John,
plays,
John,
genius.
John, when I look at the San Francisco 49ers, right, and you go, why are they, what are they, 10-4, 10-3, 10-3,
12-5,
whatever they are, right? And I go,
10
a lot of people, I'm not hating on Brock Purdy, but a lot of people feel like you could put anybody in Brock Purdy's position. You know why? Because he has Deebo Samuel, he has Brandon Ayuk, he has George Kittle, right? They say that about Mahomes. He has Travis Kelce, he has Tyreek Hill, he got a class that were like, you look at some teams and the talent is just overwhelming. You look at your Miami Dolphins and go, when Tua drops back, he got 2 running backs that can go off at any time. We've seen them both happen this year. He has Tyreek Hill, who right now is playing like the best receiver in the NFL, missed a game and nobody's still close to him, right? And then he has Jalen Waddle. You go, that team is supposed to be explosive. I don't care who's coaching them. It's not a knock to the guy that is coaching them, but you look at the talent and go, they're supposed to be good. You look at Philly and they're supposed to be good. You're telling me you look up and down Pittsburgh Ross and go, man, that's special right there.
They should be better. They should be better than they are.
What should there? So no, Eric, show me what John's prediction was for Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Show me what John's prediction was.
I'm gonna get it. I got
while Eric's doing that, Ray, I just want to say Mike Tomlin, right? He's had a few 500 seasons, nowhere near the crap that Jeff Fisher had. Let's just get that straight. Anybody that says that is clueless.
Well, that's Dom. That's just Dom being Dom, and I expect nothing less.
You have 10-6, 12-4, 9-7, 12-4, 12-4. 2 back-to-back 8-8s, 11-5, 10-6, 11-5, 13-3, and that's the year John's calling them, a fraud 11-0 team, and they lost in divisional playoffs.
I'll never
42 points. Well, it doesn't matter if your team was 11-0, and we called them frauds because of the schedule that Ray went through, and if they didn't have to play Buffalo, or lose to Philly, or lose to Kansas City, you'd be tooting their horn. So frauds or not, 13-3. Okay, then 9-6-1, 8-8, 12-4, 9-7, 9-8. And now they're 7-7 right now. So don't even call him Jeff Fisher, and don't even sit there
Jeff
and tell
Fisher
me
Jr.,
that he
baby.
should be on the hot seat. No, that's what makes you clueless. Well, Miami's never had a coach close to that since Don Shula.
So John, they should have been so much better, and they're sitting at 500, and you predicted them to be one game over 500.
That's exactly what I predicted. I don't believe in Mike Tomlin. I don't believe his coaching can get them over the top.
You had to believe in Mike Tomlin to believe a team with Kenny Pickett was going to really do something more than 9-8. In fact, you had to believe in Mike Tomlin to believe that a team with Kenny Pickett could do at least 9-8 because he sucks.
They have,
for the record. Hey, Eric, I got a random
more than Kenny Pickett.
Eric, you know what the word rhetorical means? It means I'm going to ask you a question that doesn't require an answer because based on the nature of this conversation, you should know the answer of the question before I ask it. Who's the all-time leader in winning percentage of all Pittsburgh Steelers coaches? Don't answer it. It's rhetorical. It's rhetorical. You want to take the guess, John?
Well, it's rhetorical, so why would I get? Okay. Why would I guess?
You should. You should shut your face is what you should do.
Don't
answer it because we're talking crazy.
We're talking about a mediocre head coach who took over.
All those winning seasons are all mediocre. They're all mediocre.
Okay. Took over Bill Cowher's team.
This is what you do. Hold on.
Since he lost Bill,
I let everybody talk.
That went out the window. He hasn't done anything since. He hasn't won a playoff game.
Goodbye, John. Because, I was
trying.
Let
him back. Let him come back.
I want him to come back, but I'm going to get my point across first. What I was trying to do, John Scheer,
7 years.
was I was simply trying to say to you that this year, you were potentially correct in your assessment that you had made earlier about him. I did not
tried
need
telling
a
you.
thesis. No. Stop. I did not need a thesis on the past. What I needed was a simple thank you. That's all I needed from you. That's all I need. But
That's too
you
much.
had to spin it into this huge web, which now is even more reason why I am double downing my pick on Dallas beating Miami on Christmas Eve.
But time out. Why
Okay.
are we letting John get away with this though? Like, I don't understand why we allow this to happen, right? We sit here and dog Mike Tomlin and say, oh, 8-8 is the bar, and he took over Cowher's team. I'm sorry, 1998 with Bill Cowher, Pittsburgh went 7-9. 1999, Pittsburgh went 6-10. 2000, they went 9-7. Then they went 13-3. Oh, Tomlin just did that 2 years ago. Then they went 10-5. Tomlin just did that 2 years ago. Then in 2003, they went 6-10. Then they went 15-1. Great season. Then they went 11-5. And guess what Bill Cowher's last season was? 8-8. So Mike Tomlin took over an 8-8 team and then won the Super Bowl within 2 years. Don't act like he took over some dominant franchise. They was 8-8 the year before he came. 8-8. The same record you're sitting here ridiculing, saying the bar is 500. When he took over the team, Bill Cowher went 8-8. Tomlin came in, he went 10-6, then he went 12-4 and won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You can't
Gentlemen,
compare.
we got
Not
to
even
close
close to the
this
same
because I
thing.
got 2 minutes to left to see what's finna happen with Philadelphia. Ray, I know you said you got something you need to get off your chest, my brother, whether it be a who knew, I knew, or a keep that same energy. Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host, the sports reporter without pay, and really quickly, after he's done, we cutting it. It's a mic drop. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year from all of us from the sports arena. We will not be back until January 8th because we celebrating Christmas and New Year's with our family. But my man, the sports reporter without pay, the one and the only Mr. Ray Lynn.
I have exerted all my energy yelling at John, and I think that's what John came in for. He's sick. He got the sniffles. He's coughing. He's in the background laughing. I don't know if y'all could hear him. Like, and I know we've been talking football all night, but I got to throw out a basketball or who knew I knew, because the sports reporter I pay knew. Or we can say, keep that same energy. Because a funny thing happened. There was a guard that played for Eric's team, and everybody was talking like he was washed, and everybody was talking like he was a cancer to the locker room, and he went to a team. He got traded. And a funny thing happened when he got to that team. That team lost its first 6 games while he was there because they hadn't figured it out yet, and everybody said it was his fault, and everybody said he was a cancer, and everybody said they shouldn't have traded for him. Oh, it done got real quiet because there's a team on the West Coast that as of tonight has won 13 of their last 16, including 9 in a row. And ain't nobody talking about the Clippers no more. Ain't nobody talking about Oh, guess what else funny happened? You know when that 13 out of 16 started, when they lost their 6 straight, somebody went to the bench. And this ain't even a diss to Russell Westbrook. They tried to fit a square in a round hole. They tried to square P, tried to put in a round hole. Didn't work. Russell Westbrook and Harden on the floor together doesn't work. So what they do? Put Westbrook on the bench, which I don't know why Ty Lue not getting killed for a player having to come tell him to do what was right. But the Los Angeles Clippers have won 13 of their last 16, and they're on a 9-game winning streak. And Harden is playing for not. Did he have 35 and 9 tonight? Is that what he had? 35 and 9 and was plus 32 on the floor, and they've won 9 straight. Keep that same energy. The same way y'all was about to kill Harden because it wasn't going right. Give him his props. He's playing well. Shout out to Westbrook. He made the sacrificial. Hey, I'll go to the bench. But since then, Harden's been playing point guard. He's been getting the team in the offense. He's been getting people in shots in the right spot. He's been taking over, making shots when he needs to. And again, they've won 13 of their last 16. Hottest team in the league right now. Keep the same energy, dog. And you can bring everybody back on screen here because you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen? They was killing them. And now that he's playing well and they winning, they're going to move the goalposts. I'll just wait till the playoffs. That's what they're going to say because they ain't got nothing else to say. And Eric, I know you ain't happy about that because he left your team and he didn't do so great. Right? Like, I know you ain't happy about it. But get him, man. He playing well right now. And the Clippers are playing well.
Hey, Ray,
Some level, Jerry.
Hey, Ray, I don't talk basketball till after the Super Bowl. So, congrats to the Clippers and doing what they're doing. But until February, I ain't talking basketball.
Hey, I hear it, man. Somebody got to talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine.
I'll pay, dog. Like,
That's
I'm
fine.
simply saying.
Oh, I love James Harden.
Yeah,
Yep.
8-game
Like
winning
you
streak,
said,
dog. They
keep
doing
that
their
same
thing,
energy.
man.
So keep
Yeah.
that same energy. Anyhow, like I said, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year from all of us. We'll see y'all in 3 weeks. Everybody stay blessed, man. Have fun with your family. 2024, make it your best year ever. Much love to everybody because we out. Peace.